Hi, I'm Kim O'Brien, otherwise known as @DahliaFarmerama, gardener, podcaster, stage presenter, dahlia grower and florist. Congratulations for landing on the Live for 5 podcast, affectionately named for its rapid-fire 5-minute question round that reveals the innermost workings of my esteemed gardening guests. Join us as we uncover the steps they've taken up to this point in their gardening career and hear what ventures they have in store for the future. So, without any further ado, let's go Live for 5. Hi everyone, good evening Instagram. Hope everyone's okay. I noticed for the last few, well it's kind of been deliberate, I noticed for the last 3 or 4 Live for 5s that I've had this sweater on, so I've made a point of putting this on for the last few. So when on my grid, when you see this, you know it's my Live for 5 sweater. So a few people joining already. Sam's here. Hi Sam. Sam's my esteemed guest this evening. Leanne's here. Hi Leanne, nice to see you. Ernie's here. Louise is here. Nice to see so many people joining. So I will get Sam in. Yay! It worked.
I'm sat right under the light though, never mind.
That's all right. Do you need to move?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm better.
That's all right.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, bit rushed. I was like 5 minutes ago. I thought I'd left my notebook that's got all, you know, like everything I need for like my whole life. I thought I'd left it at work. I was like, oh, how can? Yeah, it was panic, and I was like, oh, how can I'm going to be so distracted all through Live for 5? How can I concentrate? But it's like, have I got time to drive? But no, I haven't got time to drive back. But it was fine. It was upstairs the whole time.
That's one of the things I do. That I run around the house with my glasses on my head, going, "Where are my glasses? Oh my god!" I do it all the time. Hey Jamie, hey Leanne.
It's when you walk around on the phone to someone, and then you're walking around and then you're like looking for your phone, and you're like, oh, hold on a minute.
I do it all the time as well. Yeah, there's many things that I'm doing randomly at the moment. That time of bonkers life.
Anyway, how's things with you, Sam? What's up in the land of Sam today?
Good. All right, thank you. What's up in the land of Sam? Yeah, no, it's good. I got out in the garden at lunchtime, which was really nice.
Yes, good. What did you do?
I sowed a few seeds today. So I planted some garlic. Yeah, so my garlic's been in cells, so I always sow garlic into cells because frankly, my ground is never ready to go direct in. So it was, you know when it's ready, the roots are all kind of circling around. So I thought I'll get some of that in. All my soft neck went in to my veg pod. I'm going to put the hard neck out in the garden at the weekend.
Nice.
And I planted out my shallots. And then I just sowed some seeds. So some straw flowers and some sweet peas, because I can't not have sweet peas.
Oh, I can't not have sweet peas. And you know, last year my sweet peas were not great because I kind of neglected them a bit. And I missed them. I missed them badly. But yeah, straw flowers. I'm really glad you said that, because straw flowers are one of those flowers, don't you think, Sam, that you never sow enough of, because come winter you wish you'd sowed more.
Well, I've only sown them once. I think that was maybe 5 years ago. I sowed 2 years. I think the first time was 6 years ago. The copper red ones, which I just love them. They're so kind of bold and vivacious.
And they hold their colour so well. The copper red ones really do.
They do. They self-seeded everywhere in my garden. So I just thought, I'm never going to need to sow them ever again. But obviously we had a hard winter, one of those winters, and they didn't come back. But the ones that did come back the second year from the previous years, plus they were gigantic, like 5 foot tall, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I think, this is the year for straw flowers to return to my garden. Yeah.
Yeah, straw flowers is one of those ones that when they're surrounded by all the other flowers, I always think, oh, you're such a waste of space. Why did I grow you? But then when all the other flowers have gone, I'm so glad that I grew them. And they dry so glad.
They dry so nicely, and it's a real nice addition in the winter to have them dried, because they, like you said, they keep the colour. They're really tactile, that kind of, for anyone with a sensory garden, that kind of, they're crispy and they're just lovely, and the pollinators love them, and Yeah, I love them. So I sowed that and some beetroot, some kohlrabi, a bit early, but hey ho, I'm a bit of a rebel. Um, and what else did I sow? Oh yeah, peas. Direct broad beans today because I planted out the plant and they just flopped and they've not really picked up. So, and the cats or something's dug out a couple. So yes, but just to do something, you know, I was going to start digging out the garden because I'm about to build a mini patio, and I'm kind of, that's Mad's inspiration. You can do this. She was like, you could do that, and I was like, no, I can't. Oh yeah, I can. So
Of course you
I
can.
need I need to build just a 7 foot square patio. I need to take out the turf, but I've been watching YouTube videos like mad. And I actually think I probably can do it. I think you're having a whacker plate and getting all the kind of substrate all nice and level. I can do all of that. It's just time. It's just time more than anything. But I need to get the substrate and the sand and the slabs. And I want to build another kind of patio area where the holly is,
Yeah.
and that a bit of a kind of, I'm going to put my trees in around that because I need some height in my garden. It's all very low level.
Yeah, I can just see you now actually in a muscle top with the whacker plate
Yeah.
because like
Because I work in construction recruitment, so I've got actual hard toe cap boots and a hard hat, so I might go for it.
it'll be perfect and it'll save you a trip to the gym on one occasion, won't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Speaking of
yeah.
which, let's talk gym because you and I have been chatting gym and exercise recently, haven't we? Because I did say in the stories that we would talk gardening, but we'd also talk something else. So the something else that we were going to chat about quickly
Yeah,
was you're a bit of a gym girl, aren't you? Because you
I
weightlift.
weight
Yeah,
lift. Yeah, I'm not going to sound a cardio girl because evidently I'm not a cardio girl, but I am a weightlifter. Yeah, I love weightlifting.
yeah.
So I've for years, probably started. I started just before my 40th. So yeah, 2018 is when I started.
So you're
Um,
an absolutely amazing weightlifter. I watch what you do, and you are brilliant. You're so inspiring. I would not be able to. I mean, I can't lift paperclip.
but I can't.
I've got
And I'm
no
watching her
strength.
skip every day, and I'm like, wow, this girl, she's got out of her living the way she's going, skipping away.
Well, I'm not great. I mean, I used to be, in terms of cardio, I used to be good. I used to think nothing, honestly, absolutely nothing of waking up and just running like 10 miles just before breakfast. I wasn't like, honestly, that was like nothing. I wouldn't even think, oh wow, look at me, I ran 10 miles. I'd literally just get up and run 10 miles and then go off and have my day. But now I would be like, oh my gosh, shout it from the rooftops. I ran to the end of the street. Do you know what I
It's
mean? It would be a
amazing.
major thing.
And the thing is, it's not just this January. Like there's quite a lot of gardeners, male and female, obviously, that are really into that side, obviously as well. But obviously there's a highlight in January, isn't there? People, the
Yeah.
focus on different things. But I'm watching with such just being massively inspired by the likes of yourself. You're inspiring loads of people to skip and to move, which is brilliant. Claire up in Scotland, I know she's doing fantastic. She's near enough every day at the gym. So is Jenny. I mean, the transformations and just the achievements is just so good. It's
Yeah.
just, I love
I think this is the thing. It's that what's really struck me, because I just did it because I wanted to I started before January, and I think a lot of people did this year. They were like, why wait till January? Because you know it's coming. So just start now. If you feel motivated, why wait? Just go for it. So I started kind of like second week of December. And it's kind of like, so it was what it was for me. It was so many people saying, I've seen you doing this, and where did you get your ropes? Because first of all, I haven't got them with me, but I've got some ropes that are ropeless ropes actually, but that you can't cheat with them. You have to skip. They weigh you, and if you don't lift off the ground, you don't get a registered skip.
I
Like they
really
say no if you've cheated. You can't just sit. Because my friend was with me when I unwrapped them, and she said to me, "Why don't you just sit in a chair and just swing them?" And just do that, and it'll think you're skipping. I was like, oh, great idea, let's try it. I went like this, and it's like, no, it's not registering anything. So it knows if you haven't actually
I would
skipped.
need
So they're quite
candy.
canny, really. So you have to actually like get a lift, and even if you just do a little lift, it still doesn't register you. You have to do a substantial lift for it to register you. So that's quite good, really. You can't cheat with them. It does come with an actual rope, so if you want to do proper skipping, you can.
Mhm.
But yeah, but I had so many people saying like, "Where did you get your ropes and that?" So
Yeah.
I so wish I was on commission because I've sold, I mean, hundreds of these things.
You should get onto a company.
But yeah, it's just the fact that so many people have like got in touch saying where did and
Yeah.
joined in, and they've all gone like they're messaging me every day, but they're all going, it's funny, it's really funny because they're going, oh my god, don't tell anybody that I'm doing this. But it's like they're embarrassed. It's quite funny. Don't tell anybody that I'm skipping. You won't tell anyone that I'm doing this. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's between that. Don't worry. It's fine. It's your business. I'm not going to put it on. Like, you're not going to put it on your stories that I'm doing it, are you? I'm like, no, it's entirely up to you. It's none of my business.
Look, Claire's on said work out 3 of the week. It's only Thursday, Claire. My God, she's going for it. You're all. It is lovely. Like, I've been chatting with Claire, I've been chatting with Jenny, I chat with Steph about training. And yeah, and I think it's really handy being able to weightlift because I can really just shove something on my shoulder and just go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was telling Claire, yeah, it's good for the garden. And I do love that side of it. I probably should love cardio a bit more to support my love of wine. But hey,
is this action not a good workout?
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't dance when I've had wine. I mean, there you go. But
there you go, dancing, absolutely.
and I think I said to Claire last night, my trainer, he said to me that they're like the world record leg press. We think it's hard to kind of really define if it's the right figure that we've got, but I think it's 429 kilograms female leg press world record. So I'm like, I could do that last year because I don't like to be bit. I could do that, and I did get up to 400 kilos.
Wow.
I nearly broke my knee. My knee on my left knee was, I went too fast. I think I was adding 20 kilos a week, which was a bit ridiculous. I needed to go slower to get there. So I've come back down and I'm going to build it back. Yeah.
That's immense. 400, that's like half a ton.
I think it's like a 2-year-old elephant. That's what my trainer said.
That's just under half a metric ton.
Mm.
That's
but
incredible.
It's funny when you find the thing that you enjoy. It's like the gardening. We all love that. That's how we've all come together. That's why Garden Gram's there. But we've all got our own other interests and stuff. And, where someone might love crochet or like with your painting and things like that. I wouldn't say I'm the most creative. I mean, I'm going to flash this. That's my garden design for my new garden. Look at the state of that. But
come on, hold that up a bit. Come on, that was too quick of a flash.
Let's not do it upside down. This is what I gave the landscapers who originally did my garden. So this is going to be the changed area. I need to get the holly out, and is
that where your new patio's going then?
Well, my patio's here, but I'm going to have where I've got the mirrored beds. I'm going to take one out so that it stops the garden just being straight down. At the moment, because I've got it's not that long, but a rectangular garden, it's just like straight down. And what I want to do is change the positioning, and I want to be able to sit in amongst my vegetable bed in the summer, sit next to the flowers, and there's no seating area beyond my patio. So I want to create
quite important if you sort of feel kind of surrounded, and have that kind of feeling of being enclosed and then enveloped. And it makes you feel part of the garden then, doesn't it?
100%. And I love meditation and mindfulness. I've really taken that on board in the last few years, and I want to be able to sit on a really nice day and just meditate in my head or just be quiet. And at the moment I stand and look at things, which is fine, but it'd be nice to just really immerse into it. So I'm going to create a little sunny spot up the end of the garden, because since my neighbours had the extension and I've got the happy place wall, I lose all the sun from like 5:30 in the evening. So as soon as I finish work, I dash out, and you can only sit and enjoy it for like maybe 10, 15, and I find I'm moving in my chair. So I'm going to create a sunny seating area, move the greenhouse. I want to put a water butt on my greenhouse because I haven't got a water butt at all in the garden, so that will give me the opportunity to do that. And then I want to take out this small piece of hedging up to the holly tree, and put a fence, which I know is a bit controversial, but I've got hedging at the front of my house. I've got hedging all everywhere. I've got a lot of hedging.
Yeah, so you've got plenty. So it's not going to be like it's not going to be like an environmental loss or anything.
And it will give me a second little spot, like I've got the fig growing up against the wall, and it will give me a spot maybe to have some clematis or a climbing rose or something, you know, like a hard wall that I don't have at the minute.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting that you mentioned the fig, because there's something I wanted to say to you. So you're very Mediterranean influenced, aren't you, in your
yeah.
garden?
Oh,
Very.
oh,
You spend a lot of time in Spain, and you're very. Yeah, there's an awful lot of influence there. Do you want to just talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I just love Spain, don't I? I mean, my heart is like, I'm obviously Latina in a previous life, certainly, because it's just where when I go there, I just feel that peace. And even if I'm on my own, which I do go out to Spain a lot on my own, I'm actually going out shortly for a short break over there on my own. And I just feel so calm when I'm there and happy, and I'll visit like their gardens. And you know, February there's going to be oranges everywhere. The almond trees are in blossom. Oh, there's going to be, you know, hibiscus in flower, lanterna in flower. You know, it's just that extended season, the heat, the sun, the music, the food, the drink. Oh, I just love it. And I love the mountains. I'm going to go inland this time rather than on the coast, because I love that moving scenery with the clouds and the shadow, well, not, you know, the shadows and changing view with the mountains. But yeah, I just love it. So I wanted a piece of that in the garden, because I want to live in Spain. It's been made a little bit harder with the visa situation recently. We won't go into that because I'll be on my blooming soapbox going upset for ages. But one day I hope to get there. But for now, I've got my little bit of the Mediterranean in the garden, and I do want to extend that.
Yeah.
So I was massively inspired at the BBC Gardeners World Live by Katerina's garden. She's a Mediterranean landscape. Her gardens are so muted grasses, real beautiful kind of flora that you'd find in the Med. And she actually gave me some of the bricks that were in her gold design. So they're at the side of the house.
Oh, how nice.
So I'm going to build like a little wall with them. And I've got some tiles that I've bought when I've been over that have been taken out of old properties, and I'm going to put them up. And I've got my little pots on the wall, and yeah,
So you've got
I love
that kind of rustic, sort of Tuscan feel. And what kind of planting do you have that kind of complements that? So you mentioned you've got a fig tree already. What other plants do you already have in your garden? And what plants would you like to have that you haven't got, that you would like to put in?
I love geraniums. You find them all over the southern Spain. But obviously for pollinators, and I want my garden to be as pollinator friendly as possible, I'm going to switch them this year to Erigeron. Is it Erigeron? Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year I bought one Erigeron plant, because when I went to Florence last year on my own, it was everywhere. And I bought one plant when I got back, and it self-seeded itself everywhere. So I'm going to prick them out, and I'm going to have my little hanging pots are going to be filled with Erigeron, because they're all, you know, it's also good if you're a bit rubbish at watering them, which I am.
Erigeron's amazing as well, because it will sort of seed in every little nook and cranny of the brickwork, won't it? It's quite sort of self-sufficient in that way. It kind of just finds its own way. Where was it? I was trying to think where it was. I think I was in Bury St Edmunds recently, and there's a really old, because there's some quite serious history there, and there was a really old wall there, probably sort of several hundreds of years old, and it's the Erigeron's really found its way into that. It's covered this several 100-year-old wall, and it's really fantastic. I didn't take a picture. I wish I had. I'll have to go back and take a picture, and I'll send it to you. You'll love it.
Well, I'm hoping to get some greystone. I want to do a circular patio, maybe like a 2.5-3 metre diameter circular patio. And I'm going to allow for a bit of a crevice, because then I'm going to plant some Erigeron into it so that it can then thicken out. Because it's not really going to be a full-on seating area. I want to get a curved bench. But it's going to be like a resting point, if you like, so I can have things growing up in between the stone, some nice gravel surround, and then maybe some thyme, creeping thyme, and
Lovely.
you know, lavender. I mean, lavender never does that well in my garden. I really struggle because I'm on clay, and half my garden is pretty shady. So, but if I do the base right, I'll be able to grow lavender, which I'd love to put lavender back. It did really well the first year when it was all fresh and new. and then obviously just bogged down and died.
I'm on really heavy clay here in Cambridgeshire, but at the front of my house, which gets full sun, it's really sandy. I've got like sand and gravel, which is just where the builders basically just dumped sand and gravel. And there's the lavender, there was a whole load of lavender that actually self-seeded from some pots that I had, and I let it just go, and it's just gone mad in there, and it's just really, really happy in the sand and gravel there. So I've let it kind of take over. So yeah, put lots of sand and gravel down. It'll be
into there in Guernsey. Chris, I am loving following your journey in Guernsey. I literally want to come over. So work out when I can come over. It just looks beautiful.
We'll have to go and see him. There was a few more comments as well. I think I saw Claire has commented, thanks. Oh, Claire's talking about working out. That was from ages ago, wasn't it? And I think I saw Jamie say something about the Mediterranean garden that we were talking about from God as well, being amazing.
There's always so many gardens that are amazing. Yours was beautiful. You know, there's so many, and they all have pieces that you can take from them, different ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for that. I mean, yeah, there's always lots of inspiration that can be taken. You always go away and it's almost like information overload. I'm always there with my notebook saying, you know, going to do this, going to do that, and then try and implement it as well. Yeah, it's good to get that.
Or messages that were, they were just beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was a beautiful garden.
Oh, thank you. Well, those messages are now being put into a community garden here in Cambridgeshire. So that's really nice because they were made by the community and now they've been put in the community garden for everyone to enjoy. So that was really lovely because it was made by the people for the people. So that's what it's all about. That's what community is, isn't it? So
exactly.
That was a highlight. And of course, you were involved in Gardeners World as well. You were involved in the showcase garden, weren't you?
Yeah, so Steph made this beautiful design for Refuge, in aid of Refuge, which is, you know, a lot of us are emotionally involved and very supportive of that charity and what they do for families fleeing awful situations. And Steph's design, everything that was in her garden went into the garden of a refuge to bring joy, really, in sometimes really dark situations. So I really loved being a part of that. That felt personal to me, and also to see, you know, Steph's first design from paper to real life was really a pretty privileged situation, really. To be. So yeah, it was lovely. It's hard work.
It's amazing when you've seen it on paper and then you've like carried it around in your mind for so long, whether it's your own design or whether you've seen someone else's design that you're helping them with and you've carried it around in your head, and then to actually see it is a whole in 3D in front of you. It's a whole different ball game when you actually see it and you're actually working on it. It's
feel the teams together, like your team all together, like you ended up adopting me, and like the team I was part of, and we was next door to Ben and his team, and there was just so much love for everybody and support, and you know, that kind of we've got you, because it's tough watching the person, like you were at the centre of yours, Steph was at the centre of hers, and it's a whole load of work has happened prior to it, and a whole lot of love and thought and hope and fear and everything's gone into it. So yeah, it was a real privilege to be a part of that.
Well, it was a real privilege too, because that was when I met you properly. I think I'd met you briefly before, but to meet you properly and get to know you, but also, like you say, the support from everybody, and like you sort of meet everybody on a whole different level, don't you? Because you sort of see people under pressure, and but we're pulling together as a team, and we all like rooting for each other, and we all trying to bring out the best in each other and pull together. It's an amazing experience. It really is.
I mean, we did drink. I don't know how much coffee I drank during those few days. And we just kept topping up with sweets just to boost sugar levels. It was like, and you know, the weather, one minute it was sunny, then it was pouring with rain. It was really good, and just met some really brilliant people. So, and it was amazing, the huge garden, just the whole thing, just the tent coming together, getting that kind of behind the scenes run around when no one's in there. It was just lovely. It was brilliant. Yeah.
It was. You get to see the show, don't you, in a whole different light. I
Yeah,
know, it's because when you see it during the build up, it looks completely different on a show day.
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I
very
think
different.
because I also supported a trade stand at the Malvern Autumn Show. I love Malvern
Oh,
because
you
it's so
did.
close to me.
Yeah.
Um, Probably one of the first. I mean, I've been to maybe Shrewsbury Flower Show. That was probably the first flower show I'd ever been to. But I love the Malvern Show. I prefer the autumn one to spring, controversial, but I love the vegetable side of it because there's a big vegetable tent. Um, but then it's also one of the earlier shows in the season, so it's nice to get there in spring. But I, yeah, supported a trade stand. It was their first time showing there. They had to design a couple of beds for display, so I designed that. I grew the veg to go in with it to kind of showcase their product with sort of pollinators in mind, and that was a great experience as well. So
Yeah. Chris
um
is agreeing with you. He said the trade stand was great and he likes the autumn
so,
show
yeah, Chris
too.
came
So
over
there
with
you
a
go.
little- yeah,
Two of you can be controversial together.
yeah, yeah. We had a
Right.
hug. Me hugged every day. I'm a real hugger. Like, I love to hug.
Oh, you give great hugs. That was my overriding memory. I remember just when I was exhausted and tired and cold and soaked through and hot and sweaty and just it was just like, Sam, I need a hug, and you were just there, just giving me a hug. It was great.
The rocking hug when you had a particularly bad moment.
John says the giant veg is good too.
Oh yeah, the giant veg. The giant veg was insane. They had kohlrabi that were just. I couldn't even tell they were kohlrabi at first. They were massive. Everything was massive. It was like on overdrive. Yeah, really good.
The Untamed Garden says it sounds amazing. I missed which show it was.
That was the Malvern
Um,
Autumn Show, but the one that you had your stand up was
it was BBC Gardeners World Live in Birmingham.
Brummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweaty hugs for the win, definitely, Chris.
Yeah.
Right, are you ready to have your brain frazzled for the life of five? I've
Yeah.
shuffled the questions, they're completely random. Who knows what they're going to be? I've got
God.
the 5-minute broken timer.
Mhm.
Are you ready?
I'm so nervous now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you should be. This is the bit that terrifies everyone. Here we
Okay.
go. If you could be the best in the world at anything, what would you want to be the best at?
Lecture.
I like that. What veg are an absolute must-have for Christmas lunch, and have you grown any of your own?
Yeah, first year I ever grew veg. So 6 years ago, all my Christmas dinner was from the garden other than the turkey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
We kind of touched on this. Sweet peas, yes or no?
then yes. I like to bury my face in them and just take in the scent.
What would you go back and tell your teenage self?
Oh, can I swear? All right, not to stress out so much about what people think of you. I've spent my whole life worrying about what people think of me, and I've hit 46 and I'm like, okay, you can move along.
That's really good advice.
I think that's that. But yeah, that would be it, 100%.
Best James Bond.
Do you know, confession, I don't really think I've seen many James Bond films. If I had to pick someone to be James Bond, is that what you mean?
Well, you can do. No, that's
I,
not what I mean. But
well, I,
let's do
no,
it.
I don't even know. Well, it'd have to. The only one I know is like the original one. Who was that? I can't remember his name. Sean Connery? No.
No, there's somebody before him. I'm
Oh,
sure there was. Was
literally
it somebody Lazenby? Wasn't there? Oh, I don't know.
came out the sea. That Daniel, was he one of them?
Who?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig was one. Should we have him?
It's only because I can remember. It's not because they're my personal pick.
Let's pick him. He'll do. Have you have you ever paid someone else to do your gardening?
Not to do my, oh, that's a lie. I had a company come in once and do my holly because it had got out of control. But no, I cut my own hedges. I do trim my holly. My garden's full of clover, so I don't have to really cut the grass. Yeah, no.
Do you do you have a secret talent?
Down in tequila. Don't know.
Is that a secret talent?
Hablo un poco de español.
Right, we got John and Chris and Jamie arguing about Roger Moore on there. That's funny. Do you have a favourite houseplant?
Do my bird of paradise. It lives in my bedroom. I love it, and I hope it flowers one day.
Yes, I was going to say, has it ever flowered? If it has, I was going to fall out with you because mine's never flowered yet. Which gardening job do you find the most satisfying and why?
Ooh, I like digging, but obviously I've got no dig, so that's not useful. But I like it because it feels like a workout. But I like just deadheading sometimes. You know, like just mooching around, coffee in hand, deadheading.
Yeah,
That can be as satisfying as a change. Yeah.
yeah. John said that as well. What is
Oh,
one rule you live by?
feel the fear and do it anyway.
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
feel the fear quite hard sometimes. I will end up doing it anyway after I've procrastinated.
I like that. Do it afraid, yeah. What is your least favourite flower and why?
What are those daisy things? You go into the garden centres in summer and they have them, but they smell so disgusting.
Oh,
They,
like the oxeye daisies.
yeah, they're white ones, and people buy them en masse, but they smell awful.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I want to say Luke. Oh, come on, Chris. Tell us what they're called.
Yeah.
Luke something or other. Leuc something. Come on, tell us the Latin name. Come on, Chris. What, in your opinion, was the best decade for fashion?
Um, I mean, 80s. I
Yeah,
love that whole. Gosh, yes,
yeah.
I love the 80s. I'm gonna have an 80s party for my 50th.
Yes, I love the 80s. What is your greatest gardening triumph?
Um, oh,
Oh,
God. Don't know. I can't. There's so many different things, aren't there? Sometimes they're the smallest of the. Oh, I grew a melon last year. I didn't even post about it. Shona sent me the seeds. It's about that big, but confession, it's still sat in my kitchen. I should have brought it. It hasn't rotted or anything. It's
really?
stored like a courgette. It's
Got really tough skin.
yeah.
You did it. You survived.
Well,
Yay!
well.
Right, hold on. We've got so Groovy Chris says Lucanathinum. Lucananthemum. I knew it was Luke something or other. And then
It's a
John says
strong smell, Chris.
Lucanimum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that.
What
And
Chris
then
said.
John says what Chris said.
Yeah.
No
And
offence, John, but I'm going to go with what Chris said as well.
yeah. 60s fashion. Yeah, that was a good era, wasn't it? For
Oh
fashion.
yeah, the 80s fashion. The 80s fashion was great. I loved 80s.
Yeah.
80s was the best. Definitely. Oh, you survived. And then we've all learned a little bit more about Sam. Happy Place
Oh,
Gardener.
I've bored everyone. I've bored everybody. People, they've learned things they never needed to know.
Like who the best James Bond was, even though she didn't know who any of them were.
I'm honest, I can read a book and I wouldn't even be able to tell you who the characters were when I've literally just shut the cover. I'm awful for things like that. I remember stuff like that. It doesn't sit there.
Oh, that's okay.
No.
John says we've been rude, or I've been rude to him. Okay, that's fine. Who?
Who?
That's classic. I'm just gonna leave that there. Nothing more to add.
How did I miss that?
Nothing more to add.
Friend.
You just have to watch that back, Sam, and then just appreciate how funny that is. And
Okay, fine.
I just wish I was a fly on the wall watching John's face.
Oh,
That's okay, Kelly. Don't worry that you're late. Yes, make sure you watch it back. Lucy, make sure you watch it back. Yes, I will save it. Don't worry, Lucy. That's fine. So, sorry, I'm trying to go back to serious questions now. Try and compose myself. So, and Sam, you've got some very exciting things coming up. You've got some exciting news at a garden centre, haven't you? Have you not?
I
You've got some
have.
you've got some garden talks coming up. Would you like to tell us about
Thank
those?
you. Yeah, no, that would be lovely. Thanks. Yeah, so St Peter's Garden Centre in Worcester is like one of my local garden centres. And it's an independent and it's really lovely. Got a lovely team that work there. And I've been going there as a customer for the last couple of years. And actually, when I first was a customer there, they probably hated me because I was got really on my bandwagon about where's the sustainable stuff in here? Where's the peat-free stuff in here? And I put a complaint into the owner.
Brilliant, but
And
they need that.
it kind of struck up this relationship. They did have peat free, I do want to say, and they did have sustainable things going on in there, but I just felt they could do so much more because it was such a beautiful garden centre. And it's just, they've really done work in there. And I've done a few talks. I did a few last year, I did a couple the year before, and this year I've got five booked in there and one private talk in there with a local gardening club in their lovely yurt. So they've got like a log burner in there in a year, and they've got like farmyard animals surrounding it. It's next to their on-site allotment. They've given me a demonstration bed to grow in because the talk's all about grow your own. And they're for every
amazing.
so, and they're going to be on Saturdays this year instead of midweek as they were last year. So the first one Saturday, it's an hour, 10 o'clock. And then they're on their website, St Peter's Garden Centre, and it's just going to be really nice to kind of see the same people through the succession, see how people get on. We'll all be sowing seeds together, growing them on, and then
So
seeing.
you're going to have a bed for a season, and you're going to be able to effectively have almost like a little mini allotment that you can go back and
obviously it's going to be
harvest from at the end of the season.
yeah. So that's really.
I love that.
And they're so nice. They're so open to ideas, and they give me bits and pieces that I can use to demo there and to bring it to life there. And then if it's not pouring with rain on Saturday, we'll go outside and maybe sow some, because it's not too late. We're on the borderline of garlic, but you may as well, if you've got some, throw it in. So put in a row of garlic, put in a row of onion sets, and it's going to be like a little bit of everything. So it's going to be a bit of a mishmash, and it won't be rose because I don't really sow rose, but I might try to here. And then see what it ends up looking like towards with each month. We'll be harvesting some broad beans in May, June, and peas, and then we can put the squash in and things like that. So that can just kind of go wild.
That's going to be fantastic. So Kelly says, yes, Queen. She says, yes, Queen. Jamie, yes, Queen. Jamie says, will you set your phone up and record it or do a live?
Yeah, I could probably record it from the back. I don't think the team are in on Saturday that normally are there, and I can't find my tripod. That's why you're balancing on my box of mealworms for the birds. But yeah, I will try to do that. I will try to do that. But as you can tell, I move a lot and I kind of talk really fast. I get very, very excited.
You can get a member of staff to record, to stand and hold it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can sort something. I will do, because it would be good it would be good. So I've planned it all out. We've got a little handout. It's all mapped out. All the talks are mapped out, so they lead into each other, and then people got takeaways. So yeah, I think it's really good. It's a tenner each. They get a cup of tea or coffee. They get an hour with me, probably an hour and a half because I just go on forever. And yeah, and then we get.
That's really brilliant. Are you excited?
Yeah, because I think the real life demonstration bed this year is going to be so much better for people to see. So I will bring certain things back with me and kind of care for them here, and then take them back for the next talk. So then we can show how to transplant, what can go wrong, what to look out for. And that's what the whole purpose is of these, rather than sporadic random topics. We decided to kind of flow it through the season.
Yeah. Have you got anything aimed specifically towards children? Like, is this aimed at adults, or have you got anything, is it aimed at everybody, or have you got?
It's aimed at everybody. It's not specifically even targeted at total beginners either. If someone's I'm a hobbyist gardener, I'm not a professional gardener, I haven't had professional training. I did go to Pershore College and do their grow your own course. That's my claim to education, but I've learned a lot off of this platform here, trial and error. I don't like to call things failures because it's all lessons. We learn from things that don't work out right, and we know to try it different next time, and what works one year doesn't work the next because the weather. So it's just targeted at people with a keen interest in growing food and growing flowers. There's going to be an element of flowers in there because I want to, like my own garden, I just grow flowers through my veg beds. I don't have a specific spaces, a bit more sort of permaculture, if you like, then that's kind of going to be the theme.
Yeah. And I think what people don't necessarily realise as well is that veg growers, or for me, you know, being a veg grower or being a flower grower, the two are not, you know, it's not like a mutually exclusive thing. It's like, you know, they go together because they complement each other. You
Yeah.
know, they are complementary. You know, you like one brings the pot. You know, if you're going to attract the flowers, use the flowers and attract the pollinators, it's going to
Yeah.
benefit your veg growing. You know, when people say, "Oh, yeah, I'm a veg grower, I don't really grow flowers," I'm like, well, do you realise that if you grew flowers, your vegetables would probably be an awful lot better?
Absolutely. And also, let's face it, the first year I grew veg in my garden, I had I had about a third of the vegetable growing space that I've got now, but everything was green. It was just green, apart from the odd squash and the yellow squash flowers. In the main, it was green. Well, there was quite a bit of purple because I love purple veg, but you know, it was in the main very, very green. And I just wanted colour. I love bold colours, all the colours. I love yellow. I know people hate yellow, but I love all the colours, like a real strong colour clash in my garden. And I love to see that all mixed in. And it isn't for everybody, but it's for me. And I will not totally go down that route in the talks because that's not for everybody. And if someone just wants white flowers, that can be so beautiful too. You just got to do you. That's kind of what I think, isn't it? But I think bearing in mind pollinators and that they're good for us and we're good for them, it is good to mix it all in.
It is, and that's another interesting point you make regarding fashions as well, and people not liking yellow flowers.
Yeah.
Actually, yellow flowers are the most attractive flower for pollinators. So that's something to bear in mind as well. So when people go, "Oh, I don't grow yellow flowers because I don't like them,"
Yeah.
it's like, well, sometimes it's not always about what you like.
No, I think there has to be.
Sometimes it is.
If I had an allotment, an official allotment that I went away from my house to, I'd have probably more space. I could do different things, but I've got my garden, so which I'm very, very grateful for. But you know, there's an aesthetic with having it in your garden as well. You know, you want it
Exactly.
to look so,
You want it to look how you want it to look. If you have a colour theme and you're going to look at it, I totally understand that. And I do that in my own garden. But when
yeah,
you have an allotment and it's serving a functional purpose, you want to put the odds in your favour. But a lot
yeah.
of people don't necessarily realise that by cutting out certain things, they're not putting the odds in their favour.
Exactly. I mean, some people have such beautiful allotments, and then other people probably, have really functional allotments, which I kind of think I do wonder if I had an allotment, what it would be like. I think it would be like Steptoe's yard. But I really admire people that can be so strict with the growing in the rows and things. But I'm really a fan of if there's a space, grow something in it. Like my broad beans, I'll be sowing some radish between the rows because they're a quick crop. And it just, I don't like to waste space. I've got such little growing space.
And it's a quick win though, isn't it, Sam?
It is. And I've put in the very corner next to my greenhouse, keep pointing out into the darkness, in the corner next to my greenhouse, because it's difficult to get to in the depths of summer. I've just been putting perennials in there, so they're coming back. Apart from something dug out, my really big, beautiful echinacea, and it ate the roots. All the roots were munched up everywhere. It was probably the badger. I don't think it would have been the fox. So I need to replace that. But the poppies are coming back, so that's like coming in a kind of perennial corner to the vegetable bed. And obviously it won't be next to the greenhouse soon. That will be next to my seating area. So that will be really enjoyable, different. It'd be nice to change it. I've had the garden. This is the 8th year I've lived here. So it'd be nice to have a different
Mix it up a bit.
And, I'm not scared of a bit of graft,
I think we can see that.
Claire, actually, Peg's plot, she did message me and she said, tell me when and I'll come and stay with you and we'll get that patio laid. I mean, that is she's amazing. So,
right.
But I'm just not that organised to kind of go, as you know, because we've tried to do this talk a couple of times. I'm like, oh, I forgot I've got something on. So I do need to be a bit more disciplined with when I'm going to do this. Otherwise, I'll be talking about it in June.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah. So But there's so much inspiration online. There's such lovely people and such great friendships. I mean, we're all about to meet up again in a month, which is exciting. And yeah, I just think, yeah, I never realised when I started this little diary, which is what Instagram was for me, truly, and probably still is. Like I posted a picture just of kohlrabi packet seeds today so that I remember when I sowed them, because I will forget. And I write things down for the first month or two of the year, and then I just don't. I'm just not that gardener. But I never realised it would open up this whole world of friendships and opportunities, like talking at the garden centre and getting to learn more about compost from Richard at Silvergrow, who lives, you know, he travels past Worcester all the time, so he stops in and we have a chat, you know, and it's just really nice.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Who would have thought everything that's come out of it is all just a bonus, isn't it?
Such a bonus. Such a bonus. But the sad thing is, like, my day job seems so far removed from this. And like, this makes me light up and I feel so excited and full of passion. And I am passionate about my day job, but maybe not as much as gardening.
And I got a sense of like you when you need to watch this back and look at when I ask you about the inspiration in your about Spain.
Now.
And when you're talking about Spain and you're talking about the Spanish inspiration in your garden, have a look back and see how your face and your eyes light up when you're talking about all of that. It's like there's Sam, and then there's Sam talking about Spain and Spanish planting and all of that. Yeah, it's like two different.
Yeah, Undia, in my 20s. I literally, I've got my own photos of Spain all around my house. One day I will come on and be like, "Hi guys, I'm out of here. I'm moving to Spain. I'm moving me on my journey." I want that to happen in my life, 100%. And it, you know, I think it. Yeah, one
There's
day.
absolutely no reason why it won't.
Yeah, but yeah, I want
to happen. You're putting all the steps in. You're going to make it happen. There's no
my
reason
orange
why it won't.
tree. Yeah, I want to be growing tomatoes that are cropping in like March. I mean, imagine. And equally, why would I grow tomatoes? But they have allotments. They just dig upwards. In hotter countries, they just, like you would with potatoes, they well them upwards so that the water then can sit and get deeper. So there's ways around everything. I think the bugs would freak me out though, having some sort of an allotment. And the bees, they're like massive.
Are they? Oh, yeah, that's true. They
Yeah,
are, aren't they?
my heart is, yeah, my heart. I love Spain. I love everything about it. I love, yeah, just love. I mean, I've got my gorgeous mimosa now.
Oh yes, I saw your mimosa and oh my gosh, the fragrance of mimosa as well.
I think it.
Oh,
Ideal Vata, I think, is the official name. I think that might be wrong actually, but something like that. And it's just thousands and thousands of teeny weeny little yellow flowers that look like stars. And it's right by my back door. I can see it there, even though it's dark.
yeah.
I
don't know if you know this, but that's that when I so in the florists where I work sometimes, they sell it in huge bunches. It's the flower for International Women's Day.
Oh,
did you know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's very popular. I don't know what date it falls on. I think it's sometime in March, possibly. I forget the date. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, it's very, very popular. So we have it ordered in huge. I should know the date, shouldn't I? Really working there, but I don't. Yeah, but yeah, we have huge bunches that get ordered, and yeah, there's one company, a huge. I can't name them, but there's one very, very huge company in Cambridge. Their offices, and they've like multi-story offices, and they order for every woman who works in those offices, they order a bunch of this mimosa for every woman that works in every office, on every floor.
Every person with a woman doing that for. But yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah.
I think that's an amazing gesture.
That is.
Yeah.
It's trying to take me back to my first job. I'm not sure it was the same sentiment, but the owner of that said company, that shall remain nameless, used to give the ladies like a chocolate love heart on Valentine's. And when I think back, I think, was that creepy? But yeah, no, that's a really lovely sentiment. I didn't realise now that will have an extra special kind of meaning behind it. But yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
can,
meant to message you when you posted that actually, so I'm glad that you mentioned that because
yeah,
you know.
yeah, no. Very good. Yeah, no, I've got my weeping cherry tree to go in the ground this year. I've got my, oh God, I'm going to say it wrong. I want to say Celsius. It's not Celsius. Circe. I bought
Yeah.
myself a Circe tree because it's got the beautiful love heart shaped leaves. So that's going to go in the ground. I've got another cherry tree. I'm going to put that in the ground at the end because then that can just get some height on it.
And that would look absolutely stunning in the autumn as well,
It will
because the
do. And
colours that that
yeah,
turns in the autumn is just
yeah. I'm going
phenomenal.
to leave my olive in the pot for now, but I do want to get some things out of the pot. So I have a lot of pots. So I have reduced it, but yeah. But it is lovely how there's behind every plant for different people as well. They have different sentiment and different feelings and memories, and people take cuttings from people and they grow it on, and it's then in their garden, and you're sharing love and yeah,
Yeah, it's all connections, isn't it? And you sit in your garden and you look at things and you think, oh yeah, that came from that person. And
yeah,
I've got things that came from people who, have long passed, but they're
mm,
still growing in my garden, or it's a cutting of something that somebody who passed gave to my mum, and my mum's taken a cutting and given it to me.
yeah,
But the original came from, this person from, 30, 40 years ago. And
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
and you think of that person when you look at it.
Yeah.
It's amazing, really, isn't
It
it?
is. And I've just dug out. I've got the other one to dig out, but I'm going to be taking them to John. When I next see him, the two hot lips, salvias, they're giant. And I've dug them out. They are looking very sad compared to what they did when they were in the ground, but they were growing sideways, but I've turned them upright. But they were from a cutting from a friend's garden, maybe 8 years ago. I brought them all the way down from Lincolnshire, didn't even put them in the bag as you meant to and all that stuff. I just shoved them in my pocket. And then when I got back, I kind of did what you need to do, and they grew and they're huge. So I'm going to pass them to John so he can put them somewhere in his garden. So it is that kind of lovely thing. And yeah, I think that's what is lovely about gardening, that we can pass on things that we've enjoyed, and then they can then be passed on again. It's
Exactly.
like a
Passing a little bit of friendship and a little bit of fresh air as well, literally, aren't you? Because you're sort of, it's a little bit of an air purification as well. That's what I think. I think this is going to grow and purify somebody's air. It's a bit of air purification. It's a little bit of friendship as well that you're
bit of
passing on.
friendship as well. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think I'd worry if someone gave me something really spiky. Uh, though I do like cactuses because they're easy to keep alive. But yeah, that would be a secret message. But yeah,
Remind me not to give you a cactus then.
I do like cactuses, to be fair, and they're so easy to keep alive.
Do you know what? I've got some cacti that I got from the garden grand ball that I don't think I've watered yet.
I killed mine.
You didn't.
They're so easy to keep alive. I actually did kill them.
I don't. Well, you say that. I don't know how you killed it because I haven't watered it. I haven't watered mine. I think I've got about 3, and I haven't watered them, but they're still alive somehow.
Mm,
I haven't
they
actually
might.
looked after them yet. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think neglect is always a little bit better with houseplants. So I think I just saw that Mark put up there. Thank you, Mark. Your comment that went flashing by.
what did Mark's comment say?
Oh, look, Kelly's is alive as well. Look, everyone's going to be saying, like, I'm the only, yeah, okay, hands up. I'm the only garden grand ball cactus killer.
I'm not seeing the comments. My comments are stopped. I see Mark says, "Love your energy, Sam."
Oh, thank you.
Is that the comment?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Oh.
I'm an animated person, and this just brings something out in me. It's just given me light in moments like, I try not to dwell too much on darkness and heavy stuff, but we all have that at times in life. And this whole subject of gardening and the opportunities that have come out of it and the friendships have really given me light in moments that I've really needed it.
That's good.
So I think it's just something that has become part of who I am. And if I could rewind, if a question had been if you could do something differently, I would have trained to go into horticulture when I was younger and gone down that career route. But it was not something open to me at the time. I went to an all-girls school and it was ridiculous things they were telling us to do.
I think that's so true of so many people. I think horticulture just wasn't an option.
Yeah, and I think that's the sad thing. And I think it is more now, which is great. But I still think it can be more, and I think certainly for females getting into the industry and stuff, it's great to see more and more of it leveling out. Even in construction, it's still very male dominated, but I think it's just such a varied career path, isn't it? You've got so many angles you can go down if you work in horticulture. So yeah,
there's definitely more options now.
My friend Jen's in, she's overwatered. Yeah, I did overwater.
She's killed cactus by once too. I think she overwatered it. But John's is still alive. Our two are still alive. He's just rubbing it in.
John's has grown as well. I noticed that when I was there last time, it was like twice the size. I was like, oh, it's just goading me, that cactus.
Yeah, Kelly's is still alive, but she's sorry, not sorry, clearly. Because it's soz babe. Yeah, right. Sorry, not sorry. Will I see you both at the Garden Press event? Oh, there's a question. Are you going to be at the Garden Press event?
Well, I am going, because every year I see people going to these things and I'm like, oh, I missed out on that because I didn't know what you needed to do. So I think Caroline told me what to do. So I did sign up to it and they did let me in. So yes, I am. I'm going to be. Are you going?
I am going, yes, indeed.
Just seeing lots of lovely people. Yeah, really good companies. I've had a little look at the list. That's really good.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be a good day. Marc's still alive. Well done, Marc. Well, we'd expect nothing less from you. Come on, professional gardener.
Loving you. Like channel. If you want to come and do it, yes, Marc. So yeah, I will be going to that. Yeah,
that's good. We'll see you there. Right. Okay. Well, we've been chatting for an hour.
I know, it's easy, isn't it? Sorry, boring your socks off.
No, not at all. It's been really fun talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And joining me. That was like a royal we then, wasn't it? It's been really, really fun. And we've all learned loads about you. And if you don't follow Sam already, make sure you follow her. Happy Place Gardener. And find out all about what she's doing. And Sam, we look forward to seeing your updates about your garden centre talks. We want to see lives and at least see recordings and reels about it and all the updates. Thank you everyone that's joined us this evening. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, so thanks for coming in. Sorry if I've bored you. It was really lovely.
Good. I'm glad.
Jamie.
Jamie says he loved it. That's good. I'm glad. There you go. You didn't bore Jamie at least.
Oh, that's good. Nice to be honest.
No, it's been really lovely, Sam. Thanks so much. Great chatting to you as always. Thanks to everyone that joined. Have a really lovely evening. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, darling.
If you enjoyed listening to this episode of Life for 5, you can also listen to the multitude of other episodes to delight your gardening fancy. You can also view them on Instagram by searching for @DahliaFarmerama. Special thanks to Marc @Gardener Riddler for producing this episode of Life for 5 by working his technical magic.